Now to some breaking news to tell you about. Congress and the White House may be closer to avoiding a partial government shutdown in 12 days. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced an agreement has been reached on top-line spending levels. He calls it the most favorable budget agreement Republicans have reached in more than a decade. President Biden welcomed the deal, saying it'll protect important national priorities. It's now up to Congress to go line by line and fund each federal agency.
All right. All right. So we have an agreement. We have an agreement in principle. All right. That's great. That's great. The leaders of the House and the Senate got together and they say, hey, listen, we're not going to go over this top line spending amount for this upcoming spending bill. And that number is $1.59 trillion. We're not going to spend more than that. We're not spending more than $1.59 trillion. That's the very top line. They also agreed that out of that 1.59 trillion, 886 billion will go for the military and 704 billion will go for everything else. They call that non-defense spending. So 886 military defense spending, 704 for everything else. Now what they did is they added another 69 billion, so they brought that non-defense spending all the way up to 772.7 billion. Now, that is what they agreed to. Republicans are saying, hey, listen, it's a win for us because we're able to cut that number down, the overall spending number, by 16 billion. Now, this is the basic bill that McCarthy had with the president, the one that got McCarthy fired and out of Congress. This is the same basic bill, but what they was able to do is cut that number down by 16 billion. They had 6.1 billion going for that was leftover COVID money. They cut that, and 10 billion was going to go to the IRS. They cut that. So they was able to reduce the bill by a little over $16 billion. Now, that's the good news. Again, both leaders have agreed to that number, but it still has to go through their body. It has to go through the Senate, has to go through the House. They have to agree to it. That's the sausage making. What's nice with the Senate is the Senate has been working in a bipartisan manner. So to be fair, I think that the Senate, we're not going to have problems with the Senate. What we are going to have problems with is the House. On the Republican side, they have to deal with the Freedom Caucus. Freedom Caucuses already came out and said, hey, listen, I don't know. I do not know. I don't think that you guys cut enough. We may not support it. To be honest with you, they probably won't support it. At least not wholeheartedly. Not all of them. Maybe one or two may break off, but probably not going to support it. So they're going to have to count on the Democrats to help it out, which is a good thing. That means that it's going to probably be a bipartisan bill coming out of the Senate with a bipartisan bill coming out of the House. They're going to agree. They're going to get it done. They're going to send it up to the president. President going to sign, and we're going to avoid a government shutdown. They have 12 days to get it done. They have 12 days to get it done. You got to get done by the 19th. So I think they can make it. So salute Congress. You guys finally going to be able to get a bill out. Everybody agree and get it signed, hopefully before the 19th. Now, we're dealing with Congress. Something can happen. Something could happen. But hopefully, before the 19th, we'll have a bill signed and we will avoid the government shutdown. That's good news, guys. As always, I want to thank you guys for coming. Salute. Stay grinding. And by the way, brother, help a brother out. Help a brother out. Like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll see you guys next time. Salute.